21st, 2024. It's the week before Pete Bampton and I run the Embodied Awakening Retreat in Algarve, Portugal. And tonight's topic is on exploring alchemical practices. And we'll be speaking into that and practicing some tonight, based on a kind of Western take on Taoism, a Western somatic, body-based take on some of the Tao formulas that I learnt as an associate healing Tao instructor. And I'll start the evening as we usually do with a body poem. So inviting everybody here to get comfortable first and foremost. And ideally having the back supported, because that then helps us drop into our parasympathetic, calm the nervous system, and start to notice. I'm going to just mute, or could you mute yourselves just for the... I've muted everybody. So yeah, I'll also just spotlight myself because JP's moving around, so there's not a distracting visual going on, but JP's welcome to get comfortable in his home. So yeah, feeling the support of your back, feeling the torso, the spine, supported by a chair or the wall or whatever you're leaning against. I invite you to broaden your awareness. So if you've come into this trying to remember the Zoom code or from some mental activity in your day, I invite you to drop your awareness like a stone sinking through water down into the body, like you're dropping a pebble in a lake, and it's slowly, through gravity, effortlessly seeking the bottom of the lake. And as this pebble of awareness, your center of awareness is traveling down through your fluid tissue, fluid matrix of your body, all these trillions of cells filled with liquid, I invite you to have your awareness join this pebble. And the bottom of the lake is like your pelvic floor, the perineum, the space between the genitals and the anus. And imagine that this rich, fertile soil at the ground of your being is waiting for this pebble to arrive. And as the pebble drops through the neck, through the chest, dropping down our central channel. We have a woman. So as this pebble is traveling down, down, down through the body, inviting you to have a sense of awareness at the pelvic floor and just gently squeezing your pelvic floor and relax. Noticing where this pebble might be. Is there a few more centimeters or a couple of inches that you could relax further and allow this pebble to sink down into the ground of your being, at the base of the body? And I invite you, because you're muted, to make a sound. Noticing your out-breath and accompanying your out-breath with a sound of release. And inviting your voice to really drop. Letting go of any tension in the vocal cords and inviting the presence of your voice deeper down into the body as well. So you'll notice my voice has changed a bit as I relax and sink. So Lisa Jane, we're doing a grounding meditation at the moment, and then we're going to do body poem and then move into some alchemy practice. Welcome. So squeezing the pelvic floor, we can check this pebble that we've dropped at the head. How far has it traveled down through the body? The invitation is that we follow this pebble with our awareness, seeking effortlessly with gravity, sinking down to the pelvic floor. I've just muted everyone again. And I invite you to make a few sounds on your out breath. And now releasing the body to the in breath, releasing the body to the out breath. So we're not trying to control the breath, but instead give space to the inhalation, give relaxation to the inhalation, that it may do its thing more effortlessly. And releasing any holding also on the out breath, releasing the body to the in and the out breath. And if it feels useful to you or pleasant, smiling down to the ground of your being between the legs in the perineum. And as we breathe in, as we release the body to the in-breath, you might feel a subtle dropping of the pelvic floor and in expansion like a balloon. If you have a chair beneath you, it can help to feel the pressure of the pelvic floor expanding on the inhalation and releasing and lifting on the exhalation. And then it can be very interesting to, if your center of awareness has dropped somewhere in the body, perhaps at the ground of your being in the pelvic floor perineum, if this is now our new center of awareness, our resting awareness, how would it be to feel out from that point at the base? Feeling from the perineum, the length of the spine reaching up to the crown of the head. Feeling, using your interoception, your internal awareness, to map, up from my perineum, I have the length of my spine and the head, cranium, the bones, and the crown of the head. Getting a sense of the length of your spine. Feeling the whole bony structure of the rib cage, the weight of the arms hanging, and the ease of the head sat on the shoulders, adjusting the spine or your posture if you need to feel even more length with relaxedness. And as we feel the lengthened, relaxed position of the spine, I invite you to bring the awareness to the movement that breath facilitates through the soft tissue, through the belly, through the rib cage. Notice the slight upregulation on the inhalation of the nervous system and the subtle downregulation on each exhalation. Arousal, inhalation, relaxation, letting go on each exhalation. Arousal in the nervous system, inhalation, activation, relaxation, letting go, down regulation on each exhalation. Each breath balancing the nervous system between up and down regulation. And from this point of the perineum, feeling the rootedness of the legs emerging from the pelvis, rooting down towards the ground. Feeling the length of the long bone of the thigh to the knee. and the lower bones, long bones of the lower leg to the ankle, and feeling for your feet, the temperature, any sensation, and the contact with the earth, the ground beneath. And feeling the poles of heaven or sky. We don't have to have a belief or ideology of heaven, but we stand between the sky and the earth. Our feet planted and rooted on the ground, but our entire body from the feet up, we could say, is in the sky element. So it can be really resourcing to root and to connect to the ground beneath our feet, and perhaps imagining roots penetrating Mother Earth, rooting us to this land where we are. Perhaps it's where we were born or the country of our birth, but we have some connection to this land wherever we are. So I invite you to feel into your connection to where you are right now, the significance of this place, this house, this building, the land around you, and feeling that from the perineum, from the ground of your being. And from this ground of our being, having a soft awareness of our entire body now, like you're zooming out the camera lens of your awareness to take in the whole body. And how would it be to feel gravity acting upon your whole body, hugging you down to Mother Earth, keeping you grounded and rooted in this sky-based being, living above the earth. It's keeping you firmly planted on the earth. And we can work with this gravity to invite the muscles or any holding. Most of the tension in our body is unconscious holding. So letting go, if it feels safe to do so, to any holding that you're carrying right now, and using that sense of gravity that's already acting upon your limbs, your muscles, your organs, the posture, holding on and holding back in the facial expressions, muscles of the face and eyes, ears, mouth, relaxing the tongue, allowing the eyes to soften in the eye sockets, inviting a sense of space in the brow between the eyebrows. Welcome, Emma. We're doing a grounding meditation before some body poem and then tuning into what kind of alchemy we all want to do tonight. So we're sat rooted, we've dropped our awareness to the perineum, and we're feeling out from this ground of our being to take in a broad sweep of our body, like a general body scan, and inviting the gravity that's already acting upon our entire body to soften, release any holding we're carrying in our muscles, in our face, in our jaw, softening the eyes in the eye sockets, bringing our awareness from our interoception to the ears. Can we soften the muscles and the organization of our ear? Can we bring our awareness to the scalp and the muscles beneath the thin plates of muscles that pull and help us make shapes with our face? Can we allow any tension to slide off the face like a wet leaf, dropping with gravity, No need to make or reciprocate any social graces or particular faces. Allowing all the muscles of the face and the jaw to just hang, soften, become heavy. Working with your breath, releasing the body to the in-breath and out-breath. Feeling the gentle up-regulation of each inhale and the powerful down-regulation of each exhale. And bringing our awareness to our heart center. We might have our eyes closed, but we're aware that there are other beautiful beings in this Zoom together. Feeling into our sense of togetherness and community without eyes, without the screen. Just the felt sense of knowing that there are others present, witnessing and contributing to this virtual space. And I invite you to imagine that we are stones in an ancient stone circle. You might have a favorite stone circle, so Stonehenge or somewhere less famous. There are beautiful stone circles here in Portugal. So imagining that you're a standing stone in your favorite stone circle, feeling the aliveness in your body and the uniqueness of each body. Naturally asymmetrical, we're not supposed to be symmetrical, like a stone in a stone circle. And feeling the beating hearts of these other stones in this stone circle. They're alive, unique and beautiful, and we stand together. And from this grounding at the perineum, the ground of our being, I invite us to enter into a short body poem practice to tune into what kind of qualities or intention would we like to set for this alchemy practice and sharing. And we might have some co-listening, some questions, some different practices, but first we become open in community to bring aliveness to our togetherness through body poem. So with your body comfortable and supported, I invite you to tune into, with full permission, what am I noticing in my body right now? What words come close to describing my inner landscape? And I invite you to type in the chat a word or words that come close to describing what you're noticing right now. And this will be the first layer of the body poem, and then we'll have two other simple layers. So I'll give 2 minutes now in silence to tune in to words that come close to describing what you're feeling, noticing in your body right now, or in your energy field or your emotional tone. What's alive for you right now? 2 minutes to notice and share what you're feeling inside your body in terms of sensation or feeling. So now I invite you to come into receptivity, and I invite you to receive your words back to yourself and the words of the others in the group, and see how they alchemize. See how other people's words feel in your body when you hear them back. So we can broaden our awareness again to our entire body and receive the sounds of each other's words in our body and see what happens. So we're like clearing the canvas of our body, like those etch sketches that you have as a child that you can slide and wipe clean. I invite you to wipe clean the etch sketch of your body, and to, if it feels supportive for you, to open into receptivity to the words, your own and others, and see how they land in your body. And then I'm going to invite you to share in the chat what it was like to hear your first layer of this community body poem. And the other two layers that we'll move on to will gain focus on the intention for the alchemy session that we will cook up with each other after. So coming into receptivity to these words, Katie Sarah, my friend who founded this modality of body poem, used the analogy that you're welcoming back beautiful birds to come and roost in the tree of your being. So these words are different aspects of the community body that we are forming for this time, this virtual body. And how would it be to receive these back? You can also, some people like to think of this as future self gifting you these qualities in the present moment, whatever works for you. But receptivity is the key to noticing how these words land back in your system. Chaos, playfulness, finger tingles, heart chakra open, space, upper chest, receptive heart connection, soft, open, calmer than when I arrived, divine masculine, heart chakra open, division, chaos, finger tingles, playfulness, receptive, soft, open, finger tingles, chaos, division, receptive, soft, open, calmer than when I arrived, playfulness, chaos, divine masculine, division, finger tingles, chaos, heart chakra open, finger tingles, divine masculine, playfulness, upper chest space, receptive heart connection, soft, open, calmer than when I arrived, receptive, divine masculine, chaos, division, division, chaos, playfulness, receptive heart connection, soft, open, calmer than when I arrived, space in the upper chest, finger tingles, divine masculine, heart chakra open, chaos, division. Open, receptive, playfulness, finger tingles, heart chakra open, divine masculine, chaos and division, calmer than when I arrived, open, soft, receptive, space in the upper chest, finger tingles, heart chakra open, divine masculine, chaos, division, division, chaos, playfulness, heart connection, soft, open, calmer than when I arrived, finger tingles, divine masculine, heart chakra open, chaos, chaos, division, division, chaos, playfulness, receptive chaos, heart connection, division, finger tingles, divine masculine, space in the upper chest, calmer than when I arrived, open and soft, receptive. Chaos, calmer than when I arrived. So sharing a few words if you want, how was it like to hear those words back to yourself and hearing the words of others mixed in? How was it to hear our first layer of our community body poem?
At first it felt a bit strange, some of the words, but then as you were saying them over and over, it felt like everything was melding together with the body and relaxing and letting go of the ideas of the words.
Thank you, JP. Would you, hey, Richard?
I like the just that you were repeating them and mixing them up and remixing them, and it just made me think of how transient our moment to moment experience can be. And then I really like division. I was thinking of all the time I was doing that, cells were dividing. You know, that my body was just doing its own thing regardless of what was going on with my mind. And chaos as well, I suppose, with that, you know, and because I mean that's a perspective thing, you know, it's things can be chaotic until you zoom in on something, and then there's patterns, and then there's more chaos. The more you know, depending on the scale of your view.
Thanks for sharing. Do you want to add anything, Sandro?
It resonates. It's nice to listen to others. I feel less divided with you combining all that words.
Cool. Thank you. So Emma had uniting, JP had melting together, or together, I typo, relaxing, letting go of ideas of the words. So should we do round two? Back into the body. So the idea with body poem is that the mascot is the turtle on the seashore. And when we're going into the somatic waters, we're inviting our introception to turn on. The consciousness, our cellular consciousness of our liquid body, the awareness is the turtle, and the turtle playfully goes into the waters to notice, and then it comes back, harvests the experience of that swim on the beach, on the dry land, and that's when we reflect, how was it to hear the words? That's when the turtle comes back on the beach, and then the turtle wants to go play in the water again, so we go for another round. That's the second round of the community noticing body poem. And tonight I would like us to focus that inquiry, with permission, on what would I like to welcome in or let go of in my life. So if we tune in, we might have one of both. We might want to welcome in this and let go of this, or we might have most of our awareness on what we want to welcome in more of, or it might be what we want to let go more of. So I would like to give us now a tuning in to what we want to welcome in and or let go of in your life right now. feeling in from a bodily level, allowing our body wisdom to express onto the canvas of our mind. Just giving ourselves 2 minutes now to feel into what do I want to welcome in to my life right now, and what am I ready to let go of? 2 minutes in silence, and then typing into the chat. Okay, so inviting you back into your receptivity, clearing the palette of noticing with some coffee or etch-a-sketch sliding. The coffee between the wine tasting, that is. So how would it be to savor the mixing of our calling in and letting go, I want? So I invite you to come into receptivity to your own words and the words of our community body for this body poem. Letting go of mind, less mind, welcoming in more heart. Less mind, more heart. Letting in, welcoming creative flow. Letting go of tension, bringing in joy and play. Letting go of overhelping. Welcoming in inner peace. Letting go of friction. Letting go of friction. Letting go of effort. Welcoming in even more ease and flow. Welcoming inner peace, joy and play. letting in creative flow, joy and play, even more ease and flow. Welcoming in team co-creations and sharing ethics of care and service, letting go of effort, letting go of friction, letting go of over-helping, letting go of tension, letting go of mind, welcoming in joy, play, inner peace, even more flow and ease, more heart, less mind, letting go of over-helping, letting go of friction, letting go of effort, letting go of mind, welcoming more heart, more creative flow, bringing in joy and play, welcoming inner peace, welcoming in a team co-creation of shared ethics of care and service, letting go of effort, letting go of friction, letting go of over-helping, letting go of tension, letting go of mind, welcoming more heart, welcoming more creative flow, bringing in joy and play, inner peace, even more ease and flow, letting out the friction, letting go the over-helping, letting go the tension, the mind, the effort, the friction. Letting in creative flow, heart, joy, play, peace, ease, and flow. So what was it like to hear back our community body poem of letting go and welcoming in? So your experience, JP, was of feeling the body, mind, and self overwhelmed by all the words, or?
Yes.
And if that overwhelm had a voice and could speak, what would the overwhelm be saying, JP?
It's a good overwhelmed.
Okay.
This reminded me of something that I've read, which is in sex or pleasure, the body is overwhelmed. In laughter, the mind is overwhelmed. In God realization, the self is overwhelmed. It's this overwhelm that I'm talking about.
Cool. You've reminded me of a triangle, which I'm inspired to share. Yeah. So I'm going to share my triangle if people want to see it. Where's it gone? Julian's triangle. Haha. Downloads. Here we are. Cool. So I'm going to come back to that triangle. And the other shares about how it felt like a unity of experience, Richard. Yeah. I felt the same, like congruent and united. So the third layer of our community body poem, and then we'll focus and have a community agreement around the alchemy of this evening and using a Western take on Tao alchemy formulas to experience something tonight together in a shared experience. So the third layer, the turtle readying itself to go back into the water with an inquiry of what would I like to experience in this inquiry of alchemy? What would I like to alchemize in my life? Or what would I be curious to bring the tools of alchemy to in my life? Similar question, but what would you like the focus of this evening to be in terms of alchemy practices? It could be to do with your life path, creativity, sexuality, sensuality, and pleasure, sensation, or something else. So I'll give us 2 minutes to be open to any kind of insight to what we might like to bring alchemy to or alchemize in our life in this session tonight together. So coming back into body receptivity and noticing what's alive that would like some attention, some awareness in terms of alchemy. 2 minutes to notice. So inviting you to share or harvest or ask any questions or queries we have around tuning into a goal or a topic or question for this alchemy practice. So JP's got love and humility. Could you say something about that love and humility, João? Cultivating more of it, or what can you say about love and humility?
Yeah, to be more connected with the heart, in a sense, and in our expression, and the humility in here is mainly with others, with respect towards the other person in our interactions.
Thank you. and Sandro, you've got creative direction. So is that connecting to your creative direction so that it can take a lead in your life? Or what would you say about creative direction?
Yes, in my life, in my inner self, I'm in a crossroad, a little bit lost because I choose so. So I would like to take some creativity, some direction.
Thank you. Richard or Emma, anything to add? From tension to expression and flow. Yeah, there's a famous framing of moving, what's the word? Stress to vitality, or tension to alchemizing tension into energetic flow and expression is very much a hallmark of many of these Tao practices. So that's in alignment. And Richard, make more prints, more food, more love, more mess, more mistakes. So amplifying things in your...
Yeah.
Okay. So so I'm hearing from Richard, like expansion. Yeah. So could be expansion of all things. So alchemy is also good at helping us to cultivate energy. So we have our life force energy, we have our Jing essence, which the Tao say comes with our kidney Jing. We have a certain amount, but we can top it up, we can replenish, and we can amplify, magnify, and expand through energy practices, movement, dance. There's many ways we can do that, and Tao practices are one of them. Qigong, internal alchemy. So we have humility, heart connection, creative direction and expansion, and moving tension. So liberating tension into expression and flow is a good theme for alchemy. Excuse me. So got this tickly cough. I'm just gonna mute myself. So I thought I would share this triangle with you. So Joao, you read something. No, you didn't read it, but you shared something, I think, from teachings around overwhelm a moment ago. And here, I thought it's interesting because here is a teaching tool from one of my teachers, Dr. Betty Martin, in the context when she was teaching the Wheel of Consent. And she told me she's forgotten about this triangle, but it really had an impact on me. And I was on a panel on Sunday to support men with erectile challenges. And I used it, I described it, and the woman who hosted the panel made this graphic. So this could be also our alchemy practice. This could also be our creativity or expansion, as Richard has talked about. It could be our creative flow, and it could also support us with moving tension into flow and creative expression. So where we place our attention is that bottom left corner of this triangle. So this is like a pyramid of experience. Inside there could be pleasure, satisfaction, eros, sensation, satiation of our desires, our goals in life, but it can also be in intimacy or self-pleasure. But this triangle helps us to identify that our self-awareness and the focus of our intention. Today we dropped our awareness into the body, gave some focus and awareness to our body noticings, our inner landscape and our felt sense. Whereas if we're stuck in our head, we do not give as much awareness to the wholeness that we could if we've dropped our awareness to the whole of our body being. So that's the importance of focus and awareness. The meaning and context we've given to the alchemical desire or goals that we would set for the practice could also be meaning and context we place on our partner, on the context and feeling of the relationship, or on our goals in life, our work, our hobbies. So if we're doing something, for example, horse riding, and we love it, but for somebody else, the meaning of context of going on a long horse ride might be absolutely the worst thing they could do. So it's obviously based on our preferences and strategies. That meaning and context can change our satisfaction, our alignment, our sense of inner peace, or anything positive or negative association due to context. And then down there, the more we can feel with our body and wake up our body, we can bring our sensation and availability of sensation of felt sense and drop our awareness and focus there. So this is like an alchemy of choice, awareness, context, and sensation. So embodiment for me is about waking up our sensate self and dropping our focus and awareness to balance that with our mind, our meaning making and thinking, to increase the communication, which is a kind of alchemy, bringing the separation into unity between mind and body. So did anybody find that triangle at all useful? I think it's particularly useful in the context of pleasure, that we have the meaning of context of who we're with and what's happening and whether we want it to happen or not. The focus of our awareness on touch, pleasure, and the sensation, which can often be blocked if we have shame, then we are noticing less in our body, or we have fear or anxiety of performance or what the other person's thinking. So it's particularly, I think, useful in the context of relationship, intimacy, and pleasure. But I see that our meaning and context around something, the focus of our awareness and our ability to engage with sensation also is a big part of alchemy practices. Because if we're not noticing what's happening in the physical body, it can feel like a mental exercise. So I invite you to really notice what's happening in your body, and now decide together how we could use this in alignment to love, humility, creativity, expansion, and moving tension into expression and flow. If each of you could put a few words to, for example, let's go through these. So JP's love and humility. If the intelligence in you is calling in for more love and humility, more heart connected in our expression and humility with others, that intention, if it had a voice and could speak to the topics of love and humility, would it be what I've written, that I want to be more connected to my heart and my heartful expression, and cultivate humility towards others, respect in interactions? Or would it say anything else? I literally wrote down pretty much what you were saying, but this love and humility, if it had a voice, what would it be saying? As a poem into alchemy. And Sandro, tuning into your creative direction. Emma, your attention to expression and flow. And Richard, your more expansion, make more prints, more food. It might be saying exactly what you've written, just make more prints, more food. So not necessarily altering what you've already shared, but listening to, if this desire to alchemize creative direction had a voice, what would be, Sandra, would it be saying, I want more creative direction, I welcome in more creative direction, or I want insights to my creative direction?
I think I want more insights, and I want to accept more my creative direction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm getting an insight to invite us to a what's called Khan and Lee alchemy, which is sun and moon. And the first level of that is our internal fire and water. So this will connect us to the heart, to relationship between these elementals of fire and water elements within our body. The signature of exploring this, we have time, let's do it for about 20 minutes, would be to create the third force between fire and water, which is steaming, which can liberate and steam cleaners from the inside. So in terms of Emma's moving tension into expression and flow, that would be present perhaps in that, and making more of, because we're expanding and alchemizing the two into the third force. Also, this expansion of steaming for me would touch on Richard's desire, the humility. It's a humbling process to bear witness to our alchemical intention, and it's very much merging the relationship between the fire and the water and the heart. So creative direction, again, letting go of the old through the steaming, and giving an expansion to what matters, hopefully would also serve Sandro's desire for creative direction, insight. How's that sound? Should we go for some fire water? Lovely. So again, being comfortable is important. It might be nice to be able to move the spine. I'm going to move my microphone over here and have a bit of space. So now my spine is free. I would come to the front of a chair, or have some mobility and motility available to your spine now. And if it feels comfortable for you, I invite you to close the eyes. You can have them however you want, soft, open. You can ignore the screen if you want and just be with the body. That's probably supportive. I'll take care of time. It's 8:05. We'll close at past. We'll do this for about 20 minutes is the invitation. And everything that I say is an invitation. Feel what's natural and true for you. If you want to move differently, if you want to direct your awareness differently, follow what's natural for you. And tuning into your intention for this practice, feeling for its support, hopefully, with your individual alchemical goal. So I invite you to once again come into the interoceptive awareness, your felt sense of your body. And bringing our awareness to the heart. We can place a hand on our sternum or slightly to the left. We can place two hands. Experiment with 1, 2, the depth of the pressure, the spaciousness in your hands. You can invite a quality of spaciousness and holding with a gentle hug with the arms, the forearms. Find a quality of touch, feel and follow your body's wisdom to how you will best connect with your heart right now. Does the heart feel it needs direct touch or a sense of space and expansion? Making a relationship with your heart space and the heart intelligence. Inviting us to connect to the season of summer, the direction of south, the sun, a deep red beauty of a sunset. The heart sound is like an open-mouthed sound. You can experiment with the sound. If you're a visual color kind of person, this deep red, orange, yellow sunset of the heart color. And I invite you to connect to your tongue. take your tongue to the roof of the mouth. Know that the muscle of the tongue runs down and into the meridians and connection to the muscles of the heart. So heart communication, sensation, and the muscle of our tongue. And imagining breathing now, as you inhale, breathing through the tongue, in the mouth, down to the heart. Breathing in that summer sunlight, the warmth of summer, the joy, passion, compassion of heart intelligence. As if your tongue can breathe, absorb the planetary, solar, warm, summer, south feelings, intelligences, and earth, planetary direction, elementals. Breathing, smiling with gratitude to the intelligence of our heart. Smiling to the heart. Feeling the cells of the heart smiling back. Natural receptivity, reciprocity of smiling, like smiling to a person on the street. And dropping the awareness to the kidneys in the lower back that govern our water. At the back of the body, connecting to the north, to the cool, deep, planetary element of water, the oceans, blue. Sound is if we take our hand and we make obviously this open sound of on the back of your hand is warm, and the on the back of the hand is cold. Bringing the hands round to the kidneys in the lower back, finding a touch that your kidneys, the governors of all water in the body, how would they like to be contacted and touched right now? We can rub our hands together, warming up our hands, getting them really hot, placing them on the kidneys and breathing in. Imagine that you're drawing in that warmth into the water, warming the water of the kidneys. Smiling with gratitude to all the water, the lymph, the blood, the tissues, all the trillions of cells filled with water, the sexual essence and fluids, the cerebrospinal fluid, the interstitial fluid between all the cells, ground substance, ground, rubbing again. Making fire, alchemizing through friction, soothing, relaxing, inviting the kidneys to soften in the lower back, bringing these hot hands straight, quick onto the kidneys and breathing in. And with our hands on the kidneys connecting to the ears, the element of listening, the sense of listening. The shape of the ears is about roughly the size and shape of our kidneys. And with the next few in-breaths, imagining drawing in, opening our receptivity to the water, breathing in the water in the air, the oxygen given off by the trees, the humidity in all the vegetation, the planetary water, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes. Breathing, feeling a connection if you like to try between the ears and breathing down to the kidneys. Smiling with gratitude to the kidneys. And one more time, rubbing our hands. Placing them on the kidneys, breathing in that warmth. Inviting the kidneys to soften under our support, our presence, our touch. To bring more blood flow, more ease, more release, more flow. To let go of any holding around the kidneys. And bring the hands to rest somewhere comfortable. So we've connected to the kidneys, the north, the blue, the cool, the cold, and the elements of water, the crashing power of water and the soft, gentle patience of water lapping over stones, rounding the river stones. So water can be crashing and water can be soft, gentle, eroding the hard edges. The adaptability of water fitting between the pebbles and stones and sand. And now I invite us to concentrate. We can bring two soft closed fists. We're creating two orbs or concentrations of these essences. So does it feel like my left hand wants to be the heart and my right hand the water? So I'm placing my lower hand at my belly button, roughly at my belly button just below. My thumb is at belly button level, and I can relax the lower hand in my lap. And my heart hand is finding a place where it feels comfortable on my chest. And in the lower hand, we've got this essence of our kidneys, but we've also got the sexual essence and the pelvic bowl and our belly. And the upper hand is representing our heart right now. And deep to our hands, we have the center of these intelligences in the body, and our hands are reminding us of the space, of the physicality. And we invite them to take on the properties of these heart and fire, water and pelvic bowl, kidney intelligences. And inviting you now to connect with the sun shining down, this strong summer sun shining down onto the waters of the pelvic bowl, as if the pelvis is filled with a beautiful crystalline blue water. It might be your pelvis and belly, or it might just be the pelvic bowl, but whatever feels appropriate. We have this lake of water, this body of water, and the sun shining down on the surface of the water starts to heat the surface of the water. There starts to be a murmur of movement, like a convection current, the water heating up, moving, agitating, smiling to the sun, enjoying being penetrated by these solar rays shining down through the surface of the water, penetrating into the water element without any touch from the distance of the heart space down into the pelvic bowl. And this sun shining on the water's surface starts to build a gentle relationship. The water enjoying the polarity of the heat and dry sun. And the movement of the water starting to please the sunlight, build a relationship of two-way appreciation. The movement is showing the sun its effect, and the surface of the water starts to heat further, and the movement of the water molecules starts to increase. The vitality starting to increase. More of the water is heating up. Cold water is dropping down and cycling, and warm water is moving, and there starts to be a cycle. More and more of this water is dancing, enjoying, being heated up by the sun. And the fire and water really start to enjoy, and the water on the surface starts to evaporate and steam. And the sun is magnetized to move closer to the water. It's enjoying this dynamic exchange of energy and appreciation. And the water's longing to unite with the element of fire and heart, is drawing more solar energy, more vitality from the sun. And this steaming starts to really kick in. And you feel perhaps some magnetism between the polarities of the fire and the water. So I invite you to find a rocking with the physical body. It might be to rock the pelvis, play with the breath, noticing the sounding breath of a slight constriction of the airways, like Ajjayi breath in yoga, it's called. Breathing in oxygen, intensifying the fire of the heart. You can remember the tongue connection to the heart. Oxygen feeding the fire. And breathing out, it's like intensifying the rays of sunlight down into the water. So breathing in, energizing the heart, and this pearl in the fist, in the upper hand at your chest, heating up, powering up the fire and the solar energy, and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose, filling the heart fire with oxygen. Breathing out, that heart fire shining, steaming, interacting with the water. And we can find a rocking movement with the pelvis or a spiral. Find what unites with your breath to help support this. Breathing into the heart, breathing out down into the water. And as our breathing continues, I invite you to encourage this steaming up through the chest, heart fire to bodily water. And we can feel the polarity building, perhaps this desire between fire and water, this third force of the steam starting to lap up, expand, loosen anything old, anything that wants to let go in our life, be released, let go of. It's being steamed from the inside. Breathe in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Steaming up into the chest, the throat, the head. Steam spilling over through the shoulders, down into the arms. Steaming the back of the body, the front of the body, the lungs, the heart, the legs, the pelvis, the genitals, the womb space, the prostate, bladder, intestines, organs of the belly, digestion, everything getting a good steam. An alchemical steam clean from the inside. Letting go of the old, what wants to let go, release back to the earth to be recycled. And waking up the new, what we desire, our creativity, more of, heart connection, humility, creative direction, releasing the old beliefs, releasing the old patterns, opening and steaming to create space for the new, creative, humble, flowing, expansion. And now feeling the hands perhaps wanting to come closer, a desire to kiss or couple, and this steaming force, steaming every cell in the body, clearing the brain, the mind, the thoughts, the eyes, the vision, the third eye, the pituitary, pineal, the thymus, all the glands of the body, our endocrine system, our chakra system, our meridians, steaming away any attachment to things that are no longer serving us and welcoming in the most useful, the most serving, the most resourcing and nourishing intelligence in all of our layers of ourself. And bring your awareness to the hands and allow them to travel a little closer so the fire and water elements are nearly touching. Breathing in through the nose. Now just feeling both polarities of fire and water are intensifying with the in-breath. And on the out-breath, they move ever so slightly closer still. In-breath intensifying fire and water, charging the desire of the polarity just between these elementals of fire and water, steaming and steaming and steaming. And allowing them to kiss, just to touch and come away like a spark. And allowing them to hug, to rest against each other. In physical contact, the fire and water steaming intensifies further. And they overlap and merge, the elementals making love, the fire and the water, creating a supercharged steaming unity of fire and water, steaming away at our center in the solar plexus, the diaphragm, lower ribs. Almost like an alchemical internal orgasm of fusion of elemental polarities. Breathing intensifying and breathing out expansion. Breathing in oxygen to the fire and water merging, breathing out expansion, expansion, expansion. Blasting through our skin layer, blasting into and cleansing from the inside core out through our energy body, through our emotional body, through our relationship cords with all that we interact, our connection to nature, the planet, the sky above, sharing that with everyone in the group from heart to heart, from water, fire, merging, third force. Yin Yang merges to Yuan Qi, this third force, Yuan Qi, this dynamic polarity, Sending heart to the members of the Zoom, our family, our friends, our clients, everyone we've ever met, our ancestors, smiling to the planetary intelligences of fire and water, feeling supported with them, by them. And on the next exhalation, allowing and inviting them to decouple, to come away and to travel back into their homes of the pelvic bowl and the chest heart cavity, placing a hand on the heart and on the lower belly. Noticing if there's a quality shift between the beginning of the practice and what you're noticing now in your body. Feeling for your feet and the resting tone of your whole body. Just being curious what you're noticing inside. And as we bring our awareness back to the others in the group, just before perhaps looking at the screen or even opening the eyes, it's okay if you have, but just acknowledging that there's a group of us here tonight, being aware in your felt sense of this sense of togetherness of the community body poem, the words of the others, remembering your desire for alchemy, inquiry tonight, and then bringing your awareness to the space, the sounds around you through this kidney water element of sound and listening. Bringing the awareness to your sense of taste and the tongue. I invite you to take the tongue and circle around the space between your lips and the teeth. Make 9 circles. Waking up the meridians in the mouth and 9 circles in the other direction. If there's some saliva, to swallow it down. And notice the sensation in the mouth and the lips. And slowly opening the eyes, coming back to the group. And we're at 1:30, but we don't have to close in a hurry. How's everyone doing? What were you noticing as you came out of the practice? And does anybody have any sharings about the practice? How are you doing, Emma?
Good. Yeah, I really felt like the merging of those elements and it felt like an internal steam clean, which I feel like I needed. That's nice.
Ooh. Yeah, when I sit with clients with this, sometimes we open our eyes at the same time. We've had our eyes closed for a while, and there can be an intensity when, particularly when the elements want to couple. And one time my fists were, it was like they were so magnetic, I was having to keep them apart. It was really intense. Richard, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. That was really interesting. I was, yeah, I used to do a heart chakra meditation every day. I haven't done that for a long time. I mean, I would still check in, but yeah, there was a really familiar sense of space there that I haven't felt for a long time. And it reminded me of, you know, of other practices, the expansion was a bit like doing a sex magic practice with an intention, and you know, sending your orgasmic energy out your crown chakra, and familiar Tonglen as well. It was kind of like doing the Tibetan Tonglen practice on myself.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Yeah, you can you can use the Tao practices for sex magic for sure, and aligning like in that pleasure triangle that I shared, aligning meaning and context with manifestation, and then bringing in your awareness and then the sensation. And Sandro, how you doing, man?
I'm okay. It was a wonderful experience of energy moving. I feel much more relaxed and centered. So thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing and joining. And JP?
Full of love, bliss, joy, happiness, freedom, excitement, jumping up and down, left and right.
Cool. And if we tune into our alchemical intentions, moving from tension to expression and flow, Emma, do you feel it might have supported you in this intention to move from tension into expression and flow?
Definitely.
Cool. And Richard's making more of expansion, more love, more mess, more mistakes, more food prints. Did it support you in the direction of that intention?
Yeah, I had a little insight when one of the expressions you used in the guided meditation, you said, I'm not sure if you put the words together, but I heard creative humility.
Maybe.
And I was thinking one of the things that's been blocking me has been, I think that I haven't been thinking of creating for other people. I've been thinking of creating for, you know, for my own satisfaction. And I'm an over helper, and I'm thinking if I can just send my creativity through my over helping channel, you know, if I can frame it in terms of I'm making art for more than myself, I think that's really going to help.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well done. And Sandro, you had a quality of creative direction. Just wondering if you found some support of that alchemy practice for your creativity and direction, insights, and accept more my creative direction. Yeah.
I found some insights, and I found a little bit of inner peace. And when we are more grounded, it's easier to have some creativity instead of reacting to things. So
yeah, makes sense. Like a resource. Yeah, without resources, how can we create? And grounding is a very supportive resource. Thank you, Sandro. And then JP's, you spoke a bit to this, but you had love and humility. Did you find some support? Because we were focusing on the heart. How are you with your intention for the practice? coming out of it.
The words that came out of my mouth were like overwhelming. I I can't recognize myself in what is being expressed. So yes, a
Hey.
big yes.
Oh, lovely. So I would invite us to close with a concentration of intelligence, like a somatic integration through. In body poem, we often, I like to use, if this practice, this alchemy practice, had a name, if it was a poem, a movie, or a chapter of a book, letting go of even the words that were the intention of the alchemy, but feeling the resonance of the practice. I invite you to feel into words of a title which would support the memory and the integration of this practice in your life, that you could take with it, like printing it into a name that reminds you of the internal state and qualities and properties of the alchemy that you can anchor in your being and your body. Warm waters, the steam spiral, roots and wings, rooted I stand, open and fly. Warm waters, roots and wings, the steam spiral, smooth waters of body and mind. Smooth waters, warm waters, steam spiral, rooted I stand, open and fly, divine orgasm. Roots and wings, rooted I stand, open I fly. The steam spiral. The steam spiral, divine orgasm, smooth waters of body and mind. Warm waters, the steam spiral. Rooted I stand, open and fly, roots and wings, divine orgasm. Open and fly. Warm waters, smooth waters, of body and mind, divine orgasm. The steam spiral, open and fly, rooted I stand, roots and wings. Orgasm, waters, body, mind, spiral, steam, rooted, open, fly. Divine spiral, warm waters, body and mind, orgasm, open and fly, divine, rooted, I stand, and open I fly, roots and wings, the divine spiral, steam, warm waters, smooth waters, body, mind, divine, orgasm. Rooted, I stand, smooth waters of body and mind, warm waters, steam spiral, divine. Open and fly, steam, spiral, warmth, body and mind, orgasm. Smooth waters, warm waters, steam, rooted, open, body and mind divine. Waters, orgasm, spiral. Waters, orgasm, spiral. Spiral, orgasm. Body and mind rooted, open and fly. Body and mind divine, steam spiral rooted, warm, smooth, rooted and open, divine. Thank you for your titles of your alchemical body poem. So next week, Emma, JP will be, Emma's already there. Emma's already where we're going, and we will join for our retreat. And then Pete and I will continue these after the retreat. We've got some exciting ideas to evolve these regular calls. So we'll share what those are on the retreat, and everyone else will find out afterwards. Thank you so much for joining tonight, JP and Richard, Sandro and Emma. And I look forward to seeing some of you next week. And the recording of this will be up tomorrow. And there's also on Pete's channel, the recording of last week's, which was Pete Bampton and Peter Littlejohn Cook. Apparently it was a beautiful evening, which I missed because I was on the craniosacral retreat with Emma. We live, and Sandro, we live busy, beautiful lives, don't we? So thank you all. I really enjoyed this evening. Thank you for coming. Has anybody got any closing questions or shares, or should we bring the evening to a gentle letting go? Good to see you again, Richard. I was like, I really recognize that guy. And then, yes, a few weeks ago in Belfast.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. And good to see you
Always
again.
a pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, big hug to you, man. And Sandro, Emma, wasn't long ago we were sharing the cranial magic. And JP, we're yet to meet. I don't think I met you at the Awakened Life Project things. Maybe we did.
I was at the wedding.
Ah, yes.
We didn't cross, and
We didn't talk so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm excited for the retreat.
Yeah, and your partner's going to come.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, that
She's
will be...
having some issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she can come, and it'll be lovely to see you.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you all, and maybe see you in a few weeks' time or on another call, and see JP and Emma next week.
Thank you.
Lots of love, everyone. Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
Bye.